Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, so I have a really funny anecdote for you guys. I hope you are loving on yourselves today, as I did first thing this morning. I went to buy some flowers, and because I always buy myself fresh flowers every Friday. Totally forgot what day it was, so I'm standing there, and there are tons of people around, and of course, like, by the time I got to the store, I knew that it was Valentine's Day, but I didn't think about it as I was sitting there getting the flowers. And the guy, there's a guy that's standing next to me, and he was like, "It's so funny, we're all doing the same thing. We're getting flowers like last minute for people." And I said, "Well, we're actually not all doing the same thing. I'm getting flowers for myself." And the look on his face, he was like, "Oh, he apologized to me up and down, like all over the place. And I told him that it was okay. Like, I wasn't angry or bitter about it, but then he started to look at me like I was this little lost puppy. And like, it almost like he was staring at me, like it got uncomfortable. And so I said happy Valentine's Day to him and left. But I was like, man, it almost looked like he wanted to buy the flowers for me to make me feel better, even though I was already fine. But it was very amusing. So the stigma of this day is upon us. So if you are on your own today, please don't beat yourself up over it. Like, this is like one of those American holidays to make everybody else feel worse about themselves or about their circumstances. So really try not to buy into the fluff and stuff. Like, take yourself out to dinner tonight, or make your favorite dinner, or, buy yourself fresh flowers. Like, do something that's going to make you feel like today's your day, because the rest of the world wants you to feel miserable for some reason. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't understand it. Maybe some other people do. So it is kind of on brand today. I don't know if you can tell already, but I'm trying not to be super like OCD about stuff, but the moon is in Scorpio, and it's almost more of an OCD energy than if it was in Virgo. And I know why, but I mean, it's very obsessive energy. The moon in Scorpio is trining the Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, and it's opposing Uranus in Taurus. So take everything with a grain of salt today. I've already can tell. And it's not that I'm getting all worked up about anything. It's just I can tell that I'm overthinking too much. I'm overthinking things too much. I'm obsessing over, like, what does that mean? Or what does that mean? Or what? Just don't do that to yourself today. Today is not the day to do that. A couple of work things. The one question, the $30 one question readings are restocked. So if you would like to get one question answered, I will be sending those answers this weekend. So anytime between tomorrow and Monday, I'll be sending them. So if you order it today, you'll get your answer in the next couple of days. The 30-minute readings with me, there are only 12 spots left. And you guys, seriously, they're $60 to get a 30-minute reading with me. You can get it live, you can get it recorded. But after that, I'm taking a break from personal readings. The only personal readings I'm going to do are the birthday ones, which leads me to the next announcement, which is the Pisces birthday special is now available. So if you're a Pisces and you want to get a reading, you can get an hour reading where we also look at your birth chart for $100. We can get a 30-minute reading live or recorded for $50. And that's like the cheapest reading you're going to get with me. So take advantage of that. If you get the opportunity to do so. I think that's all I have for you guys for that. So let's look at the cards. I was trying to see if there was anything else I needed to tell you. Oh, the meditation. I have not made the meditation public, and I think I'm just going to leave it where if you are a member of the channel, either by clicking the join button below or going over to Patreon to become a member there, those people will have access to the meditation this week. This was such a weird week. Like yesterday we had a snow day. I just did not have any time to make that meditation public. So Everybody who is a member of the channel will have access to the meditation on Sunday. Anything else? We'll have to wait till next week. And next week is the workshop on Saturday, the Loving Yourself Unconditionally workshop. We're going to learn our own brand, find out our own brand of self-care, how to do that. And we're also going to learn how to stop judging ourselves, because we judge ourselves more. So that's next Saturday. All of that information is in the description box below. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. And this is like exactly 5 of Swords and the Moon and the 4 of Swords. All of the unknowns, you know, all of those unknowns that can really make you lie to yourself, the unknowns that can really make you feel like somebody's keeping something from you, or I don't know. I feel like with the 5 of Swords and the Moon, it really, really feels like no, you're not going to know everything. But if you did know everything, would that really feel better? Or could you just pull yourself back and allow yourself to flow with what's happening, right? Could you, 4 of Swords. The other thing is I sort of feel like somebody's going to find out a truth today that maybe they didn't already previously know about. I feel like somebody was lying. I'm just going to say it. I feel like somebody was lying to somebody else. And the somebody else is going to find out that truth today. And then there's going to be a lot of healing processed from that. And here's the thing, you guys, is we have to remember that even when we're betrayed by somebody or we're hurt by somebody, that's part of the process too. And it's the sucky part of the like, nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to be betrayed. And that's why we have a tendency to build the walls up, like around our heart and stuff. We build up walls when we're betrayed by other people because we think that that's the judgment, right? Being betrayed by somebody else is really, really miserable within itself. But then when you start judging yourself for that betrayal, like, what did I do wrong? What was it that I could have done better? What could I have done this, and this, right? Not even realizing that all of this is part of the journey. So I have the Star and I have the 6 of Swords. A lot of you are healing from past betrayals right now and in the moment, and you're realizing that you don't have to feel that betrayal anymore, that things are a lot easier and that things are looking up, but there are certain triggers that are coming at you that you still have to assess. You still have to recognize, be aware of, and then let yourself process those triggers. An example of somebody, you saying something to someone or someone saying something to you or whatever, and like you're having a conversation with somebody or you're texting somebody and they leave you on read and you don't hear from them or anything like that, and automatically every single thing that you're telling yourself, right? I literally, before I started the camera, had somebody tell me to stop overthinking. A Virgo, to stop overthinking is the funniest. And I mean, they get the irony of that, of telling a Virgo to stop overthinking, but it's true. Like, we will literally have the smallest piece of information given to us, and then it'll just go and go and go and go. Scorpios are very much the same. That's why I was like, of course it's on brand for the Scorpio moon for us to be obsessive over it, right? It's funny because with Scorpios, it's because they are super psychic, so they almost like feel the underlying current of whatever's going on, right? So that's why they become really obsessed, because they're like, wait, no, it still doesn't seem right. It still doesn't feel right. But yeah, the world on the 5 of Swords, Here's the thing, you guys, is if you were betrayed in the past and you keep thinking that you're going to keep being betrayed in that same way, that means that you're not healed from that past betrayal. That means that that thing that you keep on letting play over in your head over and over and over and over and over again, like the world is saying that you have to stop doing that to yourself. The obsessive thinking, that Five of Swords obsessive thinking, that has to stop. And that happens because we don't know everything with the moon, right? But the world is saying that it's time for that to stop. So let's see what the moon is. Yeah. Four of Swords. Every time I do that, like I do the Virgo rabbit hole is what I like to call it. Every time I go on the Virgo rabbit hole, I'm just, I'm like, I'm so appalled by myself right now. Like it just, when I become aware of what I'm doing, I'm like, geez. It is what it is. So we have the Temperance. I try not to do it, but so Temperance on the moon. And that's exactly, like, you have to balance yourself out. You have to, and I mean, obviously you don't have to balance yourself out, but if you want to have that peace of mind, if you want to realize that you don't have to like keep having that same thought pattern that you did in the past, if you want that to go away, you have to be able to temper yourself. You have to be able to be patient with yourself. You have to be able to see the bigger picture, which is temperance, right? Even the unknown, even the things in the unknown. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. And this is the other thing, is the discernment. You know, that Eight of Pentacles is saying, don't skip the steps of the healing process. And the Queen of Swords is she's such a very discerning energy. She doesn't take any bullshit, right? But she's also open to the process. And allowing yourself to do that is going to create the destiny, right? The star with the Six of Swords. Allowing yourself to see how things are processing in a much easier way with the Six of Swords. It's so funny when I get a ton of cards for what, like 3 cards to clarify one. Okay, I guess we're doing that now. And here's the other thing. Ooh, all right. Seven of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords. So we have 2 air signs here. These are definite overthinkers. Overthinkers with a star. That Seven of Cups, man, I feel like it's so interesting because part of me wants to say, I feel like somebody wants to really rush into something because they feel like they're going to miss out on it feels like they're like FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. That's what these 3 cards make me feel like. And if this is you, if you're the one that's afraid of missing out on something, or there's like a fear of missing out on something, the star is here to remind you that everything is happening the way that it's supposed to be happening, right? And for you to create chaos and confusion in your life is going to give you less clarity. I mean, that's kind of an obvious statement, but sometimes we don't realize we're creating the chaos in our life. I just realized that my table looks really wonky. That's interesting. Yeah. It's just that Libra rising, like I have to have the balance and it just looks off. The other thing is I sort of feel like somebody's going to get into an argument today. And I feel like the argument is out of confusion and not out of something that somebody actually did. But it has to happen with that star card here. The argument has to happen because it'll clear things up, right? But it's weird. It's like, I don't feel like it's a huge explosive argument. I just feel like it's, it feels very chaotic. It feels very much like somebody missed some kind of information and another person got mad about it because they missed the information. Like, it was just a confusing thing. So really watch, that, which makes a lot of sense with the Scorpio moon and the Pisces, the Mercury Pisces. Yeah. The 8 of Swords on the 6 of Swords, and then the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom. Here's the thing, you guys, is some of you are reliving a conversation from the past, and some of you just become like recently single, which would make this day a little bit difficult for you. So if that's the case, I'm very sorry to hear that. And I hope that you take really good care of yourself today. But with the Nine of Pentacles, it's saying you have all of the abundance and independence and abundance, and you're creating that for yourself. So there's no need to worry, right? Some of you are reliving a conversation that needs to end, or some of you are reliving an argument that really needs to end. Like, you keep on playing it over and over and over and over and over again, and that is going to drive you insane. And if you keep on doing that to yourself, you will end up in the 8 of Swords. You see? Again, take everything that is said to you or done today with a grain of salt. Everything is just a big jumbled mess right now. Mercury retrograde starts on Sunday. Okay? So allowing yourself to see through the illusions is a really big deal. I mean, look at that illusion card, that 8 of Swords. It's such an illusion. You don't have to be in that. That doesn't have to be you. For some of us who are overthinkers, it's a little bit difficult to come out of the 8 of Swords, but at least we know how to handle it, you know? Because some people are like, well, Betsy, I can't stop thinking. I don't know how to stop thinking. And I mean, there are days where all I'm doing is meditating and doing yoga because my brain is on overthinking mode. And the only way I know how to get it quiet is to allow myself to do it, to force myself into making my brain quiet. So if you're like me and that's the kind of day that you're having because it feels like somebody is rehashing something from the past, and I need you to stop doing that because the past is over. We're healing from it now, right? This 8 of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords on the 4 of Swords, we're healing the past now. And by not skipping the steps and by allowing yourself to just sort of see that it exists and see how it made an impact in your life and how everything is working out in your favor, that's going to be to your benefit. Maybe today's not that day to see how it's going to work in your favor, but don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the rabbit hole today. Don't go down the rabbit hole. And if you have any questions, if you want to get a 1-question reading, all of that information is in the description box. I'll put the direct link to the general readings for the 30-minute and the 1-question. Both of those will be in the description box below. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Please treat yourselves right. And I will see you tomorrow.